Yes, I am. I swear.
How you doing, everybody? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, along with you.
Oh. My name is Peter Wayne. Good morning.
So happy to be here, and thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. I'm happy to be one of the Grand Marshals at the 56th Annual African American Day Parade. We're talking about it all over the place. It's going to be spectacular. And this is the press conference, and we're going to come in and do some things. We got a number of things that we're going to talk about. But I'm on assignment, and Peter Wayne is going to come in and knock it out of the park, all right? Give Peter a bit. Are we outside?
We outside!
Yes. We're inside for now, but we're outside. All right, we're inside out. Everything has its ins and outs. All right, so enjoy the rest of what's going to take place today, and we'll see you at the 56th Annual African American Day Parade. I love you all. Peace.
Come on, let's give Dr. Bob Lee a round of applause. Come on, y'all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We'd like to welcome you to our press conference, the 56th Annual African American Day Parade. My name is Peter Wayne, a.k.a. Baby Jimmy, the lead singer for the group Double Exposure. 10% or something. Thank you. I would like to call to the stage Mr. Kanan. Mr. Keenan Hearns. Come on now, Mr. Keenan Hearns. Before Kanan comes, I would like to read. Come over here. Come on. Yeah. Show that book. Come on. Kanan has 2 upcoming events, book titles, Who Am I? It was released on September 2nd, and he has another event coming up on October 4th. A book workshop at the Central Park Conservatory. Give it up for Kanan, ladies and gentlemen.
The name of the poem is In My Mind. In my mind, I used to be a child of poverty, not knowing that hopes and dreams can become reality. In my mind, I thought it was fine to sit in the back of the classroom because my teacher never asked me to read or write. But little did she know, I was ever so bright. In my mind, I couldn't understand why they used to call me ashy and black. I always heard being black, living near the railroad track, those are the things that would hold you back. But now I understand why they used to call me ashy and black. Black is the color of my skin, so soft, beautiful, silky, and smooth. In my mind, I used to hear my grandmother cry, on her knees, bowing down, shouting, thank you, Lord, for blessing this house. Her cries brought tears to my eyes. Grandma's cries was thanking God for all his blessings, but now I understand why. In my mind, I used to hear my ancestors cry. They helped clear the path so others do not have to die. Justice and peace, oh Father, please help me. And that's what I heard in my mind. DEI. Decisions that people make give me the chance to deliberate. Delegating my choices to communicate. We need to have a debate. Desegregation. We fought hard for the freedom of the land. Now someone deranged is trying to ban our freedom land. Diversity in a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds. Why are you trying to knock me down? Our ancestors said to keep our feet on solid ground. Stop trying to make us look like little clowns. Equal opportunity for all. Don't you remember that bill passed in 1964, giving us the right to walk through open and locked doors? Education. Did you know many people of color have 4 degrees, associates, bachelors, masters, and doctoral degree? Tell me, can't we all agree? Inspired with confidence that changes will come. We must stand up and fight and stop playing this game like a little drum. Stay united, make our voices heard, and fight for justice. Injustices just because the color of your skin? Do you know how long it's been? We do not look down, we look up with our chin. Independent, so strong and proud, and not afraid to fight with all my human rights. I know we have the will and might. Implement Black-owned businesses, diversity, equity, and inclusion for all, because you know our ancestors broke free from those shackles to bury their essence in our spirit. They thrive, sing, cheer, not that they're free. I don't know about you, but in my mind, I can still hear DEI.
Yes. Yes, we want to thank Kanan for that powerful, powerful poem. Come on, y'all. Stand up to your feet. Come on now. Yes. Yes, we're going to get started right now. At this present time, we would like to thank those who made this a wonderful, wonderful occasion. Talking about our sponsors. The sponsors for the 56th Annual African American Day Parade, ABC 7, North Wales Health, Memorial Sloan Ketterick Cancer Center, Mount Sinai, TWU, Local 100, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, the NAACP, 107.5 WBLS FM, Mural for Life Photographs, Intrigue Magazine, Harlem American, PAMA, sponsors, what's happening? Yes, sponsors for Great and Get Involved, AARP, Pix 11, the Apollo Harlem Stage. Come on, y'all. Now, I would like to call a young man who's our chairman. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Yusef Hassan.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It is my honor, and it's always a pleasure to see a young man like Caden come up and show us what he knows and how he's learning. And that's the key to what we are today. Education is our #1 priority. It's the theme of the African American Day Parade. And I'm grateful that we have some great educators here, because education is what God has given all of our children. We have to have education. He gave them 2 rights. Children have 2 major rights that most people doesn't understand. They have a right to play in a safe environment, and they have a right to a proper education. And they need to know more than just the academics of it. They need to know community education, where they are from, their history, so they can be able to see things in the community and understand that their ancestors, our ancestors, were some great, great people. And so I want to thank all of you, and especially the Board of Directors of the African American Day Parade. We are a very small team, but I guarantee you, you won't find some of the best people in the world that love their community and support us in this area. 56 years. That's a long time. And we have been consistent for 56 years of bringing this parade right here to Harlem. And we will never leave Harlem. The great Dave Dinkins told me once, he said, Yusef, I hope this parade stays in Harlem forever because Harlem is our home. Everyone has a home, but this is our home. And we must keep this parade right here on 7th Avenue where it began in 1969. And that's our goal. And I want to thank all those educators that are here with us, the grand marshals and honorary guests. And I know we're going to have an opportunity to hear from them very shortly. But I just want those of here with the Board of Directors of the African American Day Parade just to stand up just for a minute and so see how small we are and what we do. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that means we 9, and we have a great weekend coming up. We have decided to make this not just about the parade, about also a whole entire weekend. So we have a event that we coined, and this is our 3rd year. Our community, literacy, cultural, and health celebration right here in Harlem on 125th Street at the State Office Building Plaza. And we will have some dynamic things going on out there, especially with our youth. We want to make sure that they have a chance to be able to have some book readings and pick up some materials for schools and all those wonderful things that goes into play. We want to focus on them, and then we also want to focus on our health. We're going to have a health panel that's going to be out on the plaza where we're going to have some great medical teams of people to come up and sit up, and the community can have an opportunity to ask questions about the health issues that they are faced with in the community. And it's not enclosed, it's in the public. And then we're going to have a cultural event where we're going to have some great live entertainment that been put together this year. And we want to entertain and show people who haven't had an opportunity to really showcase what they actually knows. You know, sometimes we have people that's training in the neighborhoods and in the communities over here. The sister teaching them how to do the 1, 2s, and the 3s and stay together, and then they have no stage to play on. We want to give them a stage to show out and show what they've learned. And also, we want to have a special place for our senior citizens. They are so important to us. And I think we have suffered in silence for many, many years. The death in the communities, our young people getting shot. We want to stop the violence in the community. And this parade gives us an opportunity to help do that. And so we want to have a special place for them at the reviewing stand, the Elbert and Darlene Champs-Ardine reviewing stand, where our young and senior citizens can sit down in their wheelchairs and their walking canes and sit down under a tent, have something to eat, and see the fruit of their labor go past. We forget about them a lot because they all closed in those areas. We want to bring them out on that day and show them the love and the concern we have for them. And we want to make sure that those come from out of the state. And this is a national parade. Don't let nobody fool you. People come from all over the country to this parade. Every year, you see. And people say, oh, we should take the parade out of Harlem and take it on 5th Avenue. That will never happen. Why? Because we have to make sure that our senior citizens, our children come out and play and enjoy the parade of their history and their ancestors. Everyone have their own parade. We have ours. And we want to make sure that the economic stays in our community. You buy a bottle of water and you do those things. That's important for us to make sure this parade brings in a lot of people and a lot of communities. But the main thing we need is your support, all of your support around the country. A nickel, a dime, $1, $10, $5. But this parade is free. We doesn't charge you to be in this parade, and we doesn't pay you to be in this parade. So it's really free. No other parade is free like our parade. You see? And we need support in those areas. So I want to thank you so much for allowing us to continue this work and for allowing me and Melvin Muhammad and those on this board, Elbert and all the rest of them in this room, to make this continue to happen here in Harlem and around all the Harlems in the world, because this represents all of our peoples. And it's just an honor, work of labor. We're tired. I'm so tired right now. I might pass out on you. I don't think so, though, but I think that Jasmine and I and Dorinda and all the rest of them, we've been working around the clock, to pull this off. But it's going to happen. And I pray to God keep the rain back, give us a nice sunny day. You always have blessed us with that now. And I pray for that this week. And so I want to thank you all for being here, and thank you for being a part of this great event. Thank you, and have a good day.
Words from our chairman of the board, Mr. Yusuf Hassan. Come on now. I'm calm now. We'd like to bring up our honorees and our invited guests, which they will have 2 minutes to speak. Our first honoree I'm bringing up is Mr. Dr. Dr. Tony Allen, the president of Delaware University.
So look, I go. Peter Wayne's still a little nervous. So right now, we're just gonna shout out all of the grand marshals.
We shouting
and
them
marshals.
out. Okay. We're going to shout the grand marshals. I can do that without being nervous. We're going to first give up a really, really tremendous thank you for all the honorees. Clap it up. Come on now. The grand marshals. Starting out with Miss Sandra Bookman. She's the anchor woman for Eyewitness News, ABC Channel 7. Now, Dr. Tony Allen, the president of Delaware University. Dr. Patricia Ramsey, president of Medgar Evers College. Dr. Martin Lamel Jr., president of Grambling University, State University. Joy Bivens, the director of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. Dr. Bob Lee, radio personality, WBLS 107.5, founder, CEO of Make the Great Foundation. Jean Gently, principal of Pugsley. There you go, Preparatory Academy. Let me say it. Jean, we had that, we joked earlier this morning. Dr. Sean Brown, principal of the Uniondale High School. Francina Y'all Costello, principal of the Amber Charter School. Yeah, come on now. Celebrity grand marshals. Platinum selling artists. Early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. Karen White. Still selling records, doing what she does, artists, producing, and acting, and she's very active in the culture. And now, we're going to bring up our honorees to have 2 minutes to speak. We're going to start with Mr. Gene Gentle. Come on, y'all.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is like amazing. I'm so honored. When after Caden did his poem and my good brother, he blew the horn, I started getting emotional. I felt the goosebumps from my back all the way down to my hands, and I'm like, I am in the middle of Black excellence, and this means everything to me. So thank you to the African American Day Parade Foundation. My good brother over here, thank you for creating a space that we could celebrate our talents, our gifts, and each other. So my name is Gene Genti. I am the principal of Pugsley Preparatory Academy in the Bronx. So thank you. We are a 6 to 8 public school located in the Parkchester Soundview section of the Bronx in the incredible District 8. Superintendent Jennifer Joint, and we're under the leadership of Melissa Aviles Ramos. This is my 7th year as a principal, 20th year in public education, and 30th year in service. I have done volunteer work with Hope Worldwide, Children's Aid Society. I was a youth minister. So service is in my blood. Service is my calling. Being a principal is not my job. It is my purpose in life. And it means everything to me to be able to create a space for students and the community where they could feel loved, where they could feel cared for. We have a full food pantry, clothing boutique in the school. We give out food to families. We gave over 600 backpacks at our back to school event. It is the school, and I've said this before, school is the new church. And I say that because when I grew up in Brooklyn, I grew up in poverty. So we used to go to the church was where we used to go to get food from the pantry, where we used to get our needs met. It was the minister that housed us when we first came to this country. So I know the power of community. So being able to provide those services as a school, because we're seeing a decline in churches and YMCAs and those types of spaces, the school has kind of become the hub of communities. So I am proud to be able to lead in that work and to share in that work with my incredible team. And I'm going to say in public, Caden, you are just a rock star. You are everything that it means for me. So I'm going to say it on record. I'm going to put it in public. I want to be the first school to celebrate the publishing of your book. We are going to host a party. We are going to buy copies of your book for every one of my students and all of my staff members, because I was so moved by you, young king. You represent everything that I do this work for, so the world could have students like you. And when I tell you, like, I'm just so touched by, it just means I feel like it captures who we are as a people. So thank you for this honor. I'm blessed that I get to share this honor with my friend, Dr. Sean Brown, who I've known for over 25 years, and my soror, Miss Francina, who is Zeta Phi Beta, the sister sorority to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, we are here, blue and white family, but we're outside. So thank you for this wonderful honor. Be well, everyone.
Well, I have been, not change the program, but to just bring up to light. We want to give them another round of applause. Come on, y'all. I'm going to sample that horn. Coming up, we have Dr. Patricia Ramsey. She is one of our grand marshals, y'all. Come on.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am just so pleased that little old me, who grew up in rural Surrey County, Virginia, would be here in New York City being honored by my own folks here in Harlem, where I have come from a community that was all about education over there in Brooklyn, in central Brooklyn. Because back in the early 60s, a group of black folks in central Brooklyn said, we want a four-year institution in our community. And they advocated and they advocated. And the powers to be fought against them, but they continued to advocate. And so everywhere I go, I talk about Medgar Evers College, birthed out of the Central Brooklyn community with social justice in its DNA, named for Medgar Wiley Evers, who gave his life for the rights of people in Mississippi to vote, but even more extensively for the social justice and the civil rights of all. He was one of the first of the civil rights leaders to be killed for the work that he was doing, coming from the military where he fought for this country and came back home to Mississippi where he couldn't even vote. And so we have come a long way as a people, but we have a long way to go. One of the challenges is that we have forgotten, many of us, from whence we have come. But at Medgar Evers College, we understand, because coming in as the first woman to be president of the college in 2021, and the first scientist to be in the role, I have no doubt that I was sent to the college for a time such as this. And no matter what happens in Washington and how much they attack education, because truly we are under attack. And interestingly enough, you needed a college degree before so many people of color started getting degrees. And now you don't need a college degree according to what the folks are saying. We need people to go to work. But that is not the end of the story. And I am so hopeful that people don't fall for, as what my husband would say, the okie doke. Because education still is the great equalizer. And I was so pleased to see a young person who is coming from a family who gets it. And what we have to do is we have to educate our young people. It starts with us at home. And for those who are in situations where you see a need, don't talk about it's a shame what they're doing over there. But you volunteer your time to help uplift the community. And I thank you again for this honor.
Dr. Ramsey, president of Medgar Evers College. Come on, y'all. Next, we have words coming from Dr. Sean Brown, principal of Uniondale High School.
Man, there's some tough acts to follow. I got to make up something special, you know what I mean? So my name is Dr. Sean Federico Brown. I'm the principal at Uniondale High School. I've been here for about a year. I've been an administrator since 2009, and I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I don't think I need to explain much about anything because of where I'm from. And there's a saying in Brownsville, it's called, Brownsville never ran, never will. And, you know, all these stories are great, but I wasn't the best student. I got into a lot of trouble. I was the kid that most people looked at, and you probably made a good prediction by giving up on that person. Been shot at, stabbed, jumped, locked up, all those different things. Education saved my life. And the passion that I have for what I do, it's very personal. I take everything is serious to me. I'm very old school, very traditional. and I get the chance to see lives change. I get the chance to be for children what people were for me. Single parent household, father in prison. I had men in my congregation that put me under their wing and taught me how to be a husband, how to be a father, and what manhood and what masculinity and what black masculinity really looks like. Black masculinity could be seen in the radiance of your wife. That's what I was taught. So I am super honored to be here. I'm happy that my family gets to see this. And what I would say to you guys right now, in this present time, is to take on the mindset of a person from Brownsville. Never ran, never will. People often talk about what they might do if they were there enslaved with our ancestors, and I would have done this, and I would have done that. What you're doing right now is what you would have been doing when we were enslaved. Just remember that. And what I choose to do is I choose to lead in every way that I possibly can. So I thank you so much for all that you do. I'm grateful to be here. I thank God for everything that I have. And I couldn't go, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my greatest gift that God has ever given me, and that's my wife. So thank you, Bear. And thanks to my kids. Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah. Dr. Brown, come on, y'all. Before I go any further, I would like to shout out our first recipient of the Teachers Grant Award, and that's Miss Monique Glover. Clap it up for her. Stand up, Monique. Next up, we have Miss Francine Costello. She is the principal of the Amber Charter School. Let's go.
Good morning, everyone. I have to say what a pleasure and honor it is to be here, to receive such a recognition for what I call my purpose work. And my frat, my brother, he referenced that previously. Being of service, I feel to be an educator is to be of service. Growing up with my West Indian roots, the value of education resonated deeply in my family, and hence, it impacted the pathway that led me to where I am. So I'm Francina Costello. I'm the current principal at Amber Charter School Inwood. Specifically, it is part of a network, Amber Charter School. My start in the work that I do was right here in East Harlem, 106th Street, between 2nd and 3rd Avenue, at our flagship school. Being an educator for me, I always reference about the village, because it takes a village to raise a child. And for families to include us, the leaders, the teachers, the staff members within the village, because of that trust and that partnership, it only helps more so to fuel and encourage the nurturing of the children. I am blessed to do the work that I do. I feel service in it. I feel passionate about it. I show up each and every single day as a leader to serve my students, serve my families, serve our staff, because each and every single one of us, we do have a purpose to serve, and that's how we're able to make the growth and the difference within the communities around us, as well as lead an impact for the future. So I really appreciate this recognition. I'm just a woman out here living my purpose, and to be able to stand here amongst fellow colleagues as well, and others who are impacting the community, it is truly, truly an honor and a blessing. So thank you for having me here.
Yes. We're now going to call up a young lady who needs no introduction. And I want to get this right, because this is part of our history when it comes to the African American Day Parade. Her grandfather is one of our founding members from 1969. Clap it up, y'all. So that means it's in her blood. I can just imagine her being out there in those days, and she probably got to see the Jackson 5 when they came up 7th Avenue. Do y'all remember when the Jackson 5 came to the African Day? Y'all remember that? They had a float. I remember it. So we're about to call up one of our board members, founding members. Let's give it up for Miss Jasmine Robinson. Come on, you all.
I'm crying. I just told him I needed to just say something. Like, thank you for that introduction, because I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for coming today. Promoting AADP is super important. As the chairman mentioned, we are a small team, but we are mighty. But we'll be even more so with the support of the community. So I just wanted to just mention, while I have the community involved and our honorees, it's just so important to just promote these events, promote these on your networks, your social media. We are doing it to our max capacity, and we need all the support, even beyond this year, moving forward, next year. Monique Glover was one of our Teachers Grant recipients, and she was nominated, I think, about 4 times. But she was also, along with one other teacher, they were the only ones nominated. So we need your support in supporting what we do. We need you to join our newsletter. Just get involved, not just this year, but every year, just get involved. And that's all I want to say. Thank you for coming.
Please don't leave, because after we close out, we're going to have a panel discussion on education. So, and also, please, feel free to go outside and have some light refreshments, take pictures. This is 56 years, ladies and gentlemen, 56 years. Successfully, 56 years. Education is the key. And I'm going to close it out, but I'm waiting for the music to drop. When the music drop, I have a special treat for y'all. He can't come up here right now, but I want you to know that we have we have a nice single out that we want to thank 107.5 WBLS and all over New York City, tri-state area. Val, we outside. Before I sing that, if I can't sing that, they want me to sing something a cappella. So it's being that we're educating, we need to stand by each other, correct? Yeah. When the night has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is lonely, light will see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Help me sing this already. So, darling, stand up by me. Oh, stand by me.
We gotta go to the panel.
Oh,
Stand by me. I love it. I love it. Right now, we're not going to take this break. We're going to go right into the panel discussion. And I think that's important because, our guests, we all have things to do and other places to go. And we want to just make sure our grand marshals and marshals get an opportunity to talk a little bit more about their education and what they do and how they do it. And this parade has a purpose. It's not just a party or a protest, but it has a reason what we do in everything that we do. So we want to thank you, and I know we're going to miss some great leaders that went before us this year. That's why I say the community suffers sometimes in silence. The great Charlie Rangels has always been in this parade every single year from the beginning. The great Hazel Dukes have always been in this parade every single year. And Lloyd Williams has always been with this parade every year. And our vice chairman, Tamara Norman, has been here for many, many years. And we lost all of them right behind each other this year. So we know we sometimes forget about those people, but we want to remind you of who they are and who we are and where we need to go forward. So let's bring the panel discussion up and
Okay.
move forward.
So if we could get Dr. Patricia Ramsey, Dr. Sean Brown, and Jean Genty on the stage, please. You don't have your script.
We want to thank y'all for staying for the panel discussion. I want to thank you for being here. Give yourself a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first time doing a panel discussion. My name is Peter Wayne, AKA Baby Jim, lead singer of Double Exposure. And we'll be asking some questions in a few seconds. But first, each and every one of you, I want you to introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about yourself. Starting with Dr. Brown.
All right. So my name is Dr. Sean Federico Brown. The Federico is because I'm Panamanian. Both of my parents are from Panama. I've been in education for approximately 20 years, but I've worked with teenagers since about 1998, 1999. I have 7 degrees, ending in degree in leadership and policy, and I specialize in quantitative data analysis. I enjoy math a lot, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Next, come on. Yes.
I am Patricia Ramsey, and it was interesting when I was listening to the poem and he talked about having 4 degrees starting with the associates. Well, I've never done the associates, but I did my undergraduate degree at Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia, which is an HBCU, and I did a master's in botany at Howard University in Washington, D.C. I have a master's in biology from Harvard University in Massachusetts, and a PhD in biology from Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And what I wanted to say about that is, had it not been for my 10th grade high school teacher in Surrey County, Virginia, Miss Bell, who I challenged when I received my first paper where she had the big F on it, because she asked us to draw our hair, and I just saw squiggly lines, and I just drew squiggly lines, and she said, "That is not your hair." And I'm like, "How do you know? You didn't look under my microscope." Didn't know that all hair looks the same under the light microscope. I discovered that when I got into college. But she had 5 of us out of her class who became biology majors in college. And that shows you the impact that a teacher can have on the students.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, hello once again. My name is Jean Genty. I'm the principal of Pugsley Preparatory Academy in the Bronx. My educational journey, the earliest memory that I have was I was in the 4th grade. Miss Ayokini, my 4th grade teacher, had my parents come to parent-teacher conference. My parents, up until that time, never came because of the language barrier. I'm from Haiti. My parents are from Haiti, so English was not our first language. So Miss Nia said to me to tell my mother and send my mother a personal note, you have to come to this parent-teacher conference. And when I came to the conference, what she wanted to tell my parents was that your son, he is exceptional, but he is lazy, and he is not giving his best effort. And I remember that being just like a starting point for me. Like, I will never have anybody say that I am lazy or that I'm not giving my best effort again. And it was just that. It came from a place of love, because I felt like she was the first teacher that actually saw me, right? Like, really saw me. And I carry that with me till this day. So I'm 7 years in as a principal. I started my career in public education, and what I try to teach my students is that anything is possible. I'm a principal, but I'm also a professional artist as well. So I incorporate my art into everything that I do in my office. My office is tagged up with student tags and with tags of everyone because I want my students to see that you don't have to give up your culture to when you reach these levels. Like I don't want my students to feel like they have to fit a particular model or a particular look to get to the places that they're trying to get to. So that's my push for my students is just for them to be their unapologetic selves and to show them that a kid from Haiti, growing up in poverty from Brooklyn, could make it to a principalship, could also have a successful art business. Anything is possible for them. So thank you again for having me here.
The same question asked to you is, it says, can you share your personal journey in education and what inspired you, your purpose in this path?
No problem. So once again, Francina Yaw Costello. I just want to clarify, principal for a kindergarten through 4th grade school, Amber Inwood, but the whole entire network, it does service from kindergarten through 8th grade. My background, education, I did receive my undergraduate and graduate from St. John's Universities, if there are any Johnnies out there, from St. John's University, and I did receive my postgraduate from Hunter College. This is my 5th year I'm entering as a principal. It is my 9th year as a school leader. I've served as a dean of students as well as an assistant principal, and I spent 10 years in the classrooms across various grades, as well as providing interventions, academic intervention services to students as well. I will say that just being able to be of service to support the students. Being a student growing up, especially coming to this country at a young age, as I shared, West Indian background, having to acclimate to the expectations that were different to those that I previously had, and having to find a place, having to be able to represent awareness or what you can do, and having others really see the value in you. So ensuring that day in and day out, the work that I do with students, ensuring that they know that they're seen, they're valued, they have a place, right? Knowing that, guess what? Each and every single one of you, you're different, and each one of you will have growth of your own. Every child does not learn the same way. Every child is not going to grow the same way. We as adults, we are totally different as well. So being able to meet students where they are, meet their needs where they are, and as well be able to set expectations and challenges for them. Let them know that the sky's the limit for them according to what exactly they aspire to. And I recognize that because when I did start my undergraduate, I actually wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician because there was a lot of backlash and negativity around becoming an educator. Oh my goodness, why would you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? You have to deal with all of these different issues. But once I started in my freshman year as a biology major, I became aware of the fact that I needed to follow my purpose. And when I made the transfer from being a biology major to being an childhood education major, it felt natural. It felt that I was home. It felt that I was doing what I needed to be doing. And that's what signified and stamped for me what my purpose was as being an educator, and of course, leading to this point of being a leader.
Great. Yes. Like, again, I want to welcome you all to Breaking Barriers, Shaping a Generation of Education. This panel discussion is beautiful. Second question to the panel. How does having a black teacher and leaders in schools impact black students' outcomes? Sean? Doctor?
Yeah, so studies show that the likelihood of students going to college increases by approximately 30% by just having one black teacher. So, and studies also show that there's less than 2% black men in education, and even less in educational leadership. The impact that we have is immense. It's significant on a whole different level. And the reason is because we get a chance to model expectations. People learn through observation. You can lecture students as much as you want, but if they see you get up every single day, being professional, being kind, being a leader, it changes their entire perspective on what's possible because they see it in front of them. So a lot of the I don't even have to have certain conversations with the black boys that I work with because they just see me from a distance. And I'm very old school and traditional. I don't try to befriend and be best friends with children. I'm here to be a mentor and lead you, and I'm friendly with you, but when you walk into my building, there's an expectation. And the reason that I share this is because suspension and special education is not the answer for every black boy that has a problem. It's not. Sometimes, and the reason that we go in those directions is because it's easy. The hard work is sitting down, having conversations, being vulnerable and transparent, and building bonds with them. So the work that we do cannot be quantified. The leadership, the capacity that we have, even Gene talking about himself coming from Haiti and learning a new language and doing all the things that he does, it cannot be quantified. And for myself also, working under the leadership of someone who is amazing in my eyes, Dr. Arkeel, black women have held me up in so many different ways you would not understand. At my lowest point as an educator, when I was prepared to walk away, when I felt like this was no longer for me, they held me up. Sometimes it was really with a really hard conversation about needing to clean my act up. But I think black women specifically are the unsung heroes in the educational field. And I think it's time we start acknowledging what they do. And what I really love about what's happening in education right now with black women is they're learning to take care of themselves. Yeah. And that's very difficult for our sisters at times. Yeah. So that's our impact.
Now, I would like to address that question as well, because back years ago, Holmes wrote to Mars teachers, and he talked about how education is the one thing that changes so slowly, and that at that time, and I'm not sure of the statistic today, but most of the teachers were white females in the nation. Yes. And at Norfolk State University, which is a historically black institution, I did not, I said I was a biology major, but I was actually biology education, and so therefore had an opportunity to learn a lot about the pedagogy. I actually did get a license, but I have never taught in K through 12. But one of the things that one of the professors at Norfolk State, who was a sociology professor, she did a study on black boys. And one of the things that study showed is that if you do not catch them by 3rd grade, you lose them, because anything beyond 5th grade, you are not going to get them to go into certain fields, for example, science, where we still are in a minority as a major. Because what the challenge is that if the teachers are white females and they have black boys in their classes, they don't understand those young people, and so you end up with them getting labels, hyperactivity, and then you get folks being recommended that they get put on Ritalin and all of these types of things. And I was in Virginia for a very long time, and my husband had a medical practice there where he would get these young people coming in, where the parents would bring them, young black boys, where they had been given this label, and he would talk to the parents and he said, listen, your son doesn't have a problem. The problem is the teacher doesn't know how to handle your son. And so my husband and another friend of ours who also is a biologist started going to the school board meetings. And we started speaking out. We became known as, in the paper, as the Black Advocates, But it wasn't about us being black advocates. We understood what was going on, and we tried to help the parents to understand. And so we started a group called the Black Parents Awareness Group. Well, I was in Williamsburg back in the late 90s. It is now 2025. Well, those people that were children back then, they're parents now. And if the schools that they went into in those times were the way that they were back then they learned a different thing about education and didn't appreciate it and started having a lot of self-hate. The last thing I want to say about it, in one of the examples given by a teacher who was teaching mathematics, and you probably can appreciate this, you talked about how you love the analytics so much. They took the students, and most of the students in all of the classes that were the quote-unquote slow classes were black. Took them into a room where the class prior to that group was an algebra class. The teacher got in the room. The algebra teacher had left a problem on the board. The teacher who they had, who was in this basic math class, told them to work the problem, and they were fast working this problem. But they were in that basic math group where your high school diploma doesn't really mean much. It wasn't until she said this problem was from the algebra class, then all of a sudden said, oh, we can't do it. Yeah. But until she said that, they were doing it. Why? Because the teacher expected it of them. Yeah. And so whatever that teacher expects of the student will rise to the occasion.
Right. Great, thank you. So this is a very personal question for me because my oldest son, when he was in daycare, he got kicked out of 4 daycares, right? From 3 years old till he started kindergarten. And the reason is my son is, right, he's 14, he's in high school, he's 5'11" right now, right? And so he's always been big. And the label that they put on my son, because he's rambunctious, my son gets bored very easily. So I remember the teacher saying to me to my face, you need to get him evaluated immediately. And I'm like, I have a degree in special education. I am the assistant principal of special education. My son is bored because y'all are boring him. That's the problem, right? So, and I share this story with my teachers because his path could have went a completely different path if I did not know him, if I didn't see, no, my son is bored. And this was the main issue. My son did not like to nap. This was the issue. So nap time was when the teachers took their lunch. Because my son did not want to nap, and they tried to force him, lay down, nap. My son never napped. He just was napping, wasn't one of his things. Because they couldn't control him, they labeled him a problem, right? And I thank God for Miss Daniela. She was his last teacher, African-American young lady. And I explained, listen, he's been to four schools, four. And she said to me, I got him. And I explained to her, listen, my son gets bored really easily. She said, when the other students are napping, I'm gonna have him feed the fish. I am going to have him, like, clean up, right? I'm going to put him to work because that's what he wanted to do. Fast forward, my son is a junior Olympian. My son is an honor student. He started his first year at Bergen Catholic. He is a track athlete, incredible, gifted young man, but his journey could have taken such a different path. And that's why I do what I do, is because I feel like part of my calling is to protect these young black and brown children from people who are going to label them so quickly, because as Dr. Brown said, the real work is getting to know them. Is, okay, he doesn't want to nap. I got to figure something else for him to do. The real work is, how do they learn best? What books could we incorporate to engage our student? How do we encourage them to have self-esteem? That's the real work. The easy work is, let's just put them on meds and put them in a slow cast and put them to nap. Make them, and I've worked as a District 75 teacher for many years, and I would see these beautiful especially our black boys, on medication that it's so powerful. Like they're like sedatives. That these children would sleep through my entire class, and I'm just like, what are we doing as a society, right? So that's one of my whys, is that I feel like it is my calling to protect our black and brown children from those who don't see them for their genius.
And to sum up, I will say representation.
Yep.
I know standing during the morning arrival in front of my school, beginning of the school year, and a new young lady joined my school, and this is an example from last year, and she walked up, and I said, "Hi, good morning. I'm Miss Francina. I'm your principal." And her eyes opened up. "You're my principal?" I said, "Yes, I'm your principal." Wow. So accessibility, right? And then also representation. I can see a reflection of myself. I can see a reflection of the women in my life as well, in the educator or the leader that is there in my school. So definitely just want to finalize that piece. I think representation, of course, being a model, setting a tone, because I always share that some of our students, the experiences with their families and being professionals, sometimes coming to school and seeing your teacher dressed up as a professional may be a direct representation, like, oh, that's what it means to be a professional. That's what it means to go to work, because they hear about mom or dad or grandma, auntie, whoever it is going to work. What does it mean? What does it look like? And they get to see that with us in the school building as well. So just that representation, continue modeling.
Thank you, thank you. We're pushing for time, but I have one last question to ask, and this is a really deep, deep question. What message do you think is being sent to our black students when black history is removed or minimized inside the schools?
You walked up on me for that one. I didn't
I
say
walked
it.
up on you, Doc.
Why you came at me like I did? I'm on your side.
Yes.
I think that the biggest thing that it says is, we are terrified of you.
Yes.
That is what's happening. What's happening is, you are trying to destroy all of our history because you are afraid.
Yep.
And what I teach my children is, they are afraid of you getting to that knowledge of self.
Yep.
I grew up somewhat studying 5% literature and learning about knowledge of self. Once you start learning about who you are and where you come from, you become a dangerous person. There's a book called The Spook Who Stood at the Door by Sam Greenlee. I read that book, and I promised myself that I'm going to learn everything about the educational system and teach my people about the conversations they have about you behind closed doors, about code switching, about holding on to your culture and not Europeanizing yourself for a position,
Yes.
about why they legalize drugs at a certain age. There's so much that we know if we decide to learn about our history. And I teach my children behind closed doors, and probably I shouldn't say it on camera, when they go through stuff with teachers, I tell them the truth.
Yep.
You know why she's mad at you? I think she got feelings for you. Yep. I think that teacher wants you suspended because she's wrestling some demons. Now, when you go to that classroom, this is where you sit. This is how you speak. This is how you address this person. The same way with the young women. You know what? That friend that you have, this is what's really happening. So, and the reason I want to share this also is because we have a lot of black men in the room. And what I would say to you, brothers, my father was in prison for 13 years.
Jesus.
His expectation for me as a student was, you had better be doing well by the time I come out, or it's going to be a problem. I had to write in perfect penmanship when I wrote him letters, and Rikers, and Sing Sing, and Elmira. He didn't graduate high school, but he said, you better do all of those things. And I'm saying that because as black men, regardless of your educational level, your employment, your history, we need you. Yeah. Don't let anybody make you feel like we don't need you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't understand how important you are. So I think the message that they're sending is, to me, the way I read it is, I want to read more and I want to study more because you're trying to erase it. And also, I really want all of us to start realizing that some of the things that we've bickered about in the past is obsolete in 2025. It's over. We have to figure out a way to be united with one another. So that's what I think the erasure of our history is doing. It's fear.
One of the things that I said in one group somewhere in the country when I was speaking is that we really need to take lessons from the civil rights movement of old. Because during that movement, there was nothing in the books about black history. They made their own history. And there were, at that time, the organizations were making sure that the young people really learned about their history. And those organizations now have lost a lot of their influence. The main thing of the civil rights movement was the church, the black church, the lodges, the barber shops, where the history was being spoken about. And so parents taught their children the history. And so no matter what any establishment does, we have a responsibility at home to teach our children the history. And there are ways that that can be done. And you may say, well, the parents don't know the history. Well, I didn't know the history of Medgar Evers College or what happened here in Brooklyn, but I would go up against anybody about the history at that time when the struggle was happening here in New York City. Black people had a real hard time. You didn't hear about it like you did about Mississippi and Alabama and all those places. But it doesn't mean that black people weren't going through a lot of changes here in New York City when it came to what would be referred to as equal rights. And even today, when I came here from Maryland, and I was looking for a place to live, because I did come here from Maryland, and I wasn't accustomed to some of the things that I really found here, because it's a lot more liberal, believe it or not, in some of the places that would be considered the South. And every time I applied for a place that I liked, and it got to the point of me now having to submit my picture,
Wow.
all of a sudden, it was no longer available.
Wow.
This was 2021.
Oh.
Okay, so so we have to be responsible and take responsibility for making sure that the young people do know their history, no matter what happens in the classroom. And for those who, as I said earlier, who see young people and you don't know whether or not that young person has received any education or not about their history, then you be responsible for telling them the history. We cannot be victims. We cannot have a victim mentality. We are a resilient people, and we have been in this place before.
Amen. I feel like part of my work, and I work with middle school students, is to meet them where they are. So I realize that social media is incredibly powerful, and I realize that. And again, I have some amazing teachers. I'm not gonna take away from, but I also have some teachers who do not see the genius of my children, who do not see them as the future doctors or the future engineers. That's just the reality. It's not a knock on, this is just what's happening. So what I do with my students is I tell them their history. My art tells their history. I encourage them to create their own history. I encourage them to learn their own history, right? Because it's not gonna happen in all of the schools. It's just not, where budgets are cut, right? So opportunities for students to really be in fellowship with people that real OGs that they could learn from. I try to create those opportunities, but as a system, I believe we have to use what we have, and that's social media. Teaching our students through posts, teaching them to be unapologetically themselves, showing them what that looks like. I advocate for my students to show up as they are, and I try to show them as many examples. I tell them about my life, but I try to keep as many references to my history in my school. But I'm like a grain of sand, right? But if I start posting on social media, and I start posting, showing my art or tying it and connecting with the students through that. Hey, did you know that dance came from blah, 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 blah? Did you know that started and that dance was from the Bronx, did you know that saying that you're saying, how do we give them the platform? How do we connect with them? And I feel like we're doing our part, but I think it's just important that we tap into where they are, and use the platforms that are in front of us to really show them where they came from, who we are, and what their true potential is.
Personally, I believe that when you think about the removal or suppression of just awareness of Black history, right? It's sort of that saying, out of sight, out of mind. Right? So if you can't have access to it, then you won't think about it. And therefore, it comes the responsibility, I agree, each one reach one, right? We don't have to just limit it to the actual tangible books. Let's continue the storytelling. Let's continue passing it along, because built into that, I'm coming back to the question in terms of the fear and why it's such an issue and why would it be pushed. It's that if you're not able to still have the story or the history resonate, then you can't as well find the celebration in it. Celebration of resiliency, celebration of strength, celebration of overcoming, celebration of growth, celebration of power. So being able to continue as a community to feed into the kids, feed into those who are coming next, so it can still live, it can still be alive, whether it's in a book or not, is going to be important for us to ensure that it resonates no matter the accessibility.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, I would like to thank all of our panelists and our honorees. We want to thank you all for attending. Give yourself a round of applause. We hope to see you next weekend at the AADP, the African American Day Parade. Education will always be our first priority. Let us get together and put Black excellence on display.
And honorees, before you guys leave, could we just go in the lobby and take some photos, okay?
And we want to take one
All
on
right.
the stage before we walk
We're
Okay?
gonna,
All right,
Yeah, that's what we do.
all right.
And we got to thank the Schomburg. We really
we want to
Yes.
thank the Schomburg Research Center for having us. Give them a round of applause.